What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today I want to talk to you about NIO. I want to go over some of the current data points, break it down on what is really moving it, and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure you hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So NIO is down 1.02%, 383 the low, 391 the high. Rather low volume, so within the first about 2.5 hours of the trading day, 10.56 million shares being traded. So most likely it'll settle roughly around that 35 to 40 million. But considering 51 is the average over the last 30 days, definitely shows that big money is kind of taking a step back. And that's been more of a common occurrence with NIO for the last several days. But aside from that, though, there isn't any news from NIO, so no SEC filings, no press releases, rather just a disappointing meeting. And that's actually something that's been happening quite a lot with just China over the last, I'd say, 8 months. So there's been various meetings, stimulus updates, and whatever else. And a lot of those meetings just end up resulting in like nothing at all. So I think there's just always a lot of hype and then no actual bite, if that kind of makes sense. But there was this, so there was a potential meeting that was done early this morning about a policy package, and that's to kind of combat against the US tariffs. Ultimately, they talked, and came to no conclusion. So at the end of the day, not all that great, and maybe this is why you are seeing more of a communication between China and the States. So it does look like they are going to be beginning negotiations this Saturday. So fairly optimistic, and that's actually what really pushed the American market a little bit higher, and that was done after hours yesterday. So at the end of the day, it is what it is. It just, the market is really optimistic about like just progress, but so far we haven't really got that much. A couple of things did come out unofficial though. So we did have the weekly registrations for the Firefly sitting at 350, and that's kind of what previous articles did state, that we had, I think it was like 300 or 320 vehicles sales in the first, I think it was 2 days. So 350 is kind of in line with that. I don't know if that is also one attributing factor why NIO is going down because of this. Maybe the market wanted a little bit higher results. The only other thing that really came out right here is NIO's brand ONVO slashes battery upgrade fee by 99.9% in China. So might be an unpopular opinion, but at least to me, companies doing this shows a little bit more of a struggle. Again, people might disagree with me on that, but typically if there is demand for any product, even outside of NIO, like anything, whenever there is sufficient demand, you don't need to make these deals, incentives, price cuts, or whatever else. So I think this does really signal that there is a little bit of a struggle going on behind the scenes. So let me know your viewpoint on that in the comments below. Aside from that, going over what shorts are doing. So shorts are increasing 2.49 million shares so far today. 13.1% of the free float is being shorted. It works out to be 208.88 million shares overall are being shorted. So they are kind of piggybacking off of the fear and so forth. But looking at the options, 472,000 in calls, 148 in puts. So very low volume for the options. And then 49% of all the options being done today are bearish in nature. And you can kind of see just so far there's 621,000, 1.5 million yesterday, 1.6, and even comparing it to what happened like almost a month ago, we are always at like the 3 to like, I'd say 8 on average. You have some outliers like 13, 16 right here, million in one day. So NIO's popularity through the options have dropped dramatically, but based on the bulls, you are seeing a consensus for it to be still around that $4 range. Bears are anticipating for it to be sub 3 or 3 to 350 for the most part. So not all that great. So far, no transactions on the secondary market above $100,000. Darkpool, you see a little bit more popular, or is a little bit more of a popular exchange. This is often enough used by shorts. So this is where shorts are clearly hiding a lot of their transactions. With it right now, though, at 388, trading between this R1 and the pivot. So 384 is going to be a strong support, and it kind of bounced off of that general area. So the low for today was 383. So just watch for that to hold. If not, you could see another kind of full on pullback. Flip side, 438 is going to be the next strong target / resistance. And unless there is a deal with the states coming, then I don't see that being touched whatsoever. But aside from all that fun stuff, no new analyst ratings, no real substantial articles like coming out about NIO worth bringing up. Just a lot of these kind of clickbait ones. Is NIO a millionaire maker? You click on it, they don't really say jack all. So let me know your thoughts on that. Moving over to the actual chart, it's honestly not really much to say. It's below all the key pivotal moving averages. It kind of bounced off of this when it was trying to break out above that 100-day moving average, but it's honestly just needs a deal, and that is it. Or there's some substantial partnership or something, because we haven't really heard much from CATL in a while. Still, that's kind of a lot of rumors floating around about that, so that's kind of stuck in limbo. So let me know your thoughts on NIO. Are you buying the dip? Are you selling? What's your general thoughts on NIO? And when it comes down to this meeting that did occur, do you think that more is going to come from that, or what's your kind of general thoughts? With all that, appreciate all of you watching. Pop over to my Discord. It is completely free. A lot of good people talking about stocks, options, crypto. A lot of big NIO fans in there as well. So definitely just pop over there. Free is amazing, right? So with all that said, appreciate all of you watching.